Hello and welcome back to episode 32 of this survival let's play on Jack Pine. Quite a bit's changed since the last episode. We've jumped a day and a half basically, and that's because, let's just jump here, the price for wood chips was massively down and we didn't have that much to do other than look after the animals, so off camera I've done a lot of logging, waiting for the price to go back up, which, if I'm right, yep, the wood chips sell point has gone up to, where are we at? What's at 127? I think it's actually gone down a bit. I'm sure when I first seen it, it was at 132. So what we're going to do is not get rid of that. We'll turn that on, and we're going to start selling some of this. I did record some footage of this, basically, of us doing the logging, but whether it's going to make it into the final video, I'm not sure. It just depends on how long we're on this one for. You can see though, we've done loads, so we've cleared that space and we've gone around here as well. You'll also see that our cornfields are up, which is good. This is going to be a nightmare to get this started, isn't it? So yeah, basically a day and a half that we've jumped forward. Although it did take a good while to get these done. But to be honest, once you're in the when you're in the Libre, our machine for don't go in there. Our machine for cutting the trees down, it gets quite addictive. So you just sort of get into a rhythm, and it takes a lot of stop, to be honest. It's just one of them, I'll just do one more. I mean, I'm not going to show every trip to the sell point. I'll either time lapse or a jump, I'm not sure. I mean, I don't think there'll be that many trips, even though we spent a long time doing it. You actually take a lot. Right. Get that packed away. We'll get going. I've kept on times 1 at the minute because I want to take advantage of the great demand. Still at 127. Some of them trees are going to have to come down as well on the outside because this is what happens. I know I go too fast around it, but let's try to snake back around here. There we are. So when we first put the sell point down, I didn't look to see what the price was. However, we were getting 32 grand for a full trailer's worth. That went down to, I think the lowest we've had was in the last video, was it about 19? So we'll see what this is with this great demand. 22, I mean, it's still not high, is it? It's still 10 grand off to what we were getting. But I suppose it's still 22 grand in our pocket. What I'm thinking about doing with, I'll go back the other way because I'll be able to show you. The areas that we've cleared is, obviously it's too late to put crops in. You might be able to put something like sunflowers in or soybeans, something like that, but I'm thinking if I can get grass put in, we can buy one of the cheap silage pits and then do that, and then next year if we wanted to we could turn them into arable fields again, because it costs next to nothing to put grass in, doesn't it? So I can plough this side up and all round there and up there, put a grass field in, see how much money we'd make off that, because I mean there is a couple of really cheap loading wagons. The silage pits don't cost overly much, so yeah, that I think might be an idea. Like I said, even if it was just short term, just to make a bit extra money for this year. I mean, the other thing we'd have to buy obviously is a mower as well, but mower, windrower, but you can get them quite cheap. Although remember, we are having to buy things, we're not allowed to lease anything. The majority of these stumps that you're seeing are the very last ones I did. When I went round probably the first 80% of it, I've cleared the stumps. I put the mulcher on the JCB and got rid of them, because this does my head in. Don't know if it's still switched on that. Possibly is. I'm not. There it is now. Right. What I'll do, I will either put a time. It'll either be a time lapse or we'll jump forward. Just depends on how long the rest of the video is going to be, and I won't know that until editing. So we'll get the rest of these sold and we'll come back. Okay, so that's both sides cleared. We've got half a trailer exactly left, which we might as well just we'll just leave over here. We'll park up. There's no point in taking half a trailer over. We will, if you can see, we're up over 300,000 now. I'm desperate for a wash, isn't it? Over 300,000. How are we doing with animals? So they will need filling. Actually, what we'll do before we knock it on the head is not take that. What do we take? This. We need rid of some of our pigs. At some point I'm going to have to take all them off cuts over as well. Let's knock her back up to ×5. There's at least one, there's possibly 2 trailerfuls where they've gone over or around the £80 mark. I mean, as you can see here, we generate an absolute load of them. Right, let's get these down. So I mean, these have gone slightly over what's sort of optimal. But because I skipped a day, I had no choice really. I didn't want to do it on a sort of off camera like I do with other stuff like the logging. We'll have to check as well soon what the state of play with the eggs is. I checked the price. You might see it depends what I've edited. I checked the price for eggs and it was just over 1.5 grand per 1,000 litres, so we'll have to see how many we're generating. Which we should be doing alright, to be honest, because we got the full 400. Right, so 3,273 for them. And I think there's one more load to come down. What I might do actually before we go is build our silo. I might do that. Seems we've got the money for it. And then, although I know we will, but we don't really need to spend anything until we buy a combine. Which we won't be doing until... I say that. Forget exactly what I've just said, because we need to buy the stuff to do the grass work, don't we? Although I'm not going to be spending a fortune on that. What I'm hoping is we'll be able to cut the grass that's on there first, even though it's obviously it's not fertilised or anything like that, but we'll get something of it. I don't really want to be taking the £29 ones down. Nope, I'll just take them ones. It might be in full anyway, or one off. I don't know, I didn't count them. I think doing the grass work is going to be quite important because it opens up other areas as well. So if we do that grass work, we're able to start getting the hay from it. And once we get in hay, we're looking at maybe sheep, or I'd quite like to get horses on this one. Just with the type of map it is, I think, although it's an absolute pain to train them, right, 3,000, so we must have been one off maybe. Ah, no, it must have been a full load, but some of them were only £89, weren't they, as opposed to 105. So yeah, I'd quite like to get horses. I'd rather, to be honest, I know we're on seasons, I would rather have the setup with horses that you do on when you're playing without seasons. So where you train them up and sell them for the 50 grand, rather than the sort of livery fee that we get. Which, in that case, I think it's brilliant for starter farms. So, for example, which one was it? I think it was a game on Sandy Bay that I had, where we started off with nothing but, I think, 2 horses and maybe a small tractor, something like that. I didn't record it. It wasn't in. It was before I started recording videos. But that was a fantastic way to start because we just drip fed that money every day. Whereas we're in a position that we're in now, we don't need to be drip fed money. We need sort of big hits more than anything. Right, I'll leave that there. And the last thing we'll do is, in fact, before we do that, I'll just have a look, see how much we made for the money. So sold animals 6,327, property income 7,5. There, so the wood 178,000. That's what we made from that wood, which isn't bad, is it? Right, silo. I think I'm going to use that one from No Man's Land. In fact, that is the one I'm definitely going to use. And I want it in the middle here. Right, that looks alright. Brilliant. Right, so 54 exactly. And I think that's where we'll leave it for today. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next installment of Jack Pine.